So given your history with on-device AI at Google, there's kind of a big debate right now about massive models in the cloud versus smaller private models running locally. My question would then be for businesses concerned about data sovereignty, sovereignty? Yeah, data
Sovereignty. Yeah,
sovereignty
yeah, yeah.
and speed. Which side of history do you think kind of wins out? Will our like social AI eventually live entirely on our laptops? What are your kind of thoughts there?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, and we have to separate out a few things here. So there's a whole field or concept around secure computation, um, and how that could be provided in a resource effective way. So think about secure enclaves in the cloud or trusted execution environments on device. In fact, I think all the major cloud providers have something of this sort. GCP recently announced a secure computing um, platform that works with Gemini. So think about data that's encrypted not only at rest and in transit, but also during computation via encrypted memory. So you can get a really, really high standard of protection and privacy by using such products. There's probably some premium for using them. I'm not quite sure. Um,
Sure.
so if that's the goal, it sidesteps the on-device versus server-side question. On-device has a lot of really nice advantages. It works in disconnected mode. Now, obviously, there's only so much you can do in disconnected mode. Continua is a social product, so if you're disconnected and can't, talk to other people, then that's probably not the most important thing. Latency when you are in a sort of um, cell dead zone, it's nice to have more reliable latency as well when you can do computation at the edge. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of information that's in a device like a phone that the more pruning of the data that you could do at the edge, the better. And so you could imagine all sorts of ways of anonymizing information at the edge. There's a whole literature around something called federated learning, which is something that I saw up front at Google around doing decentralized training of models, where you can think of it like almost like a map reduction, where in this case the map stage would be the gradient descent that's happening at the edges, and then the reducer stage would be a sort of aggregation of the gradients in the cloud with noise added at the client. So think about like differential privacy. So there's some plausible deniability of any specific data point at the clients. These are things that need to continue. There's really important reasons for this sort of privacy work to fully develop. I would say that the benefits of on device are just pretty huge. Also, harken back to what I said earlier about the cost savings because of you're sort of like distributing the inference cost across people. But it's not yet at the point where it can replace what's happening, where you need a really, really large model in the cloud. And thankfully, via technologies like secure computation, you don't have to make such a strong privacy compromise anymore.